Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Kerbal Space Program, where I was proud of part of the last episode. I thought, we're in probably the trickiest piloting we've ever done to land on the so-called moon. I was gonna say, maybe before we land on the moon, we want to get enough science to get, I'm not sure small landing gear is what we need, but LT-1 landing struts seem like they would be a little bit better than whatever the heck we're using right now, which I think is actually just from engineering? Stability? I can't remember. Either way, it's not good. Well, what we're working with right now, it might be capable of landing on the moon if you're a little bit more skilled than I am, but I don't think it's, oh, there it is right there, the micro landing struts. I don't think it's sustainable for us to be trying to use that to land on the moon. We have a rocket that's capable of making the moon. Now we need to get enough science to get that next stage of landing gear. So let's look at mission control. Test, and we're just basically going to do science. And I know we could drive all over the planet and do science that way, but I prefer to launch rockets. Haul the Rockomax brand decoupler into flight above Kerbin. Easiest thing in the world. It gives us money, it's not worth that much. Similarly, the hammer gives us money, but it's not worth that much. Radial decoupler on an escape trajectory. This one seems pretty good for me right now. So we have, oh, we also have the Airstream Protective one that gives us, 2 science. It's not a ton. So this is going to be like our domestic episode where we're doing stuff on Kerbin in order to unlock science, in order to land on the moon and get a ton of science after we're there. So, sure, let's test our TT-70, let's test our hydraulic detachment manifold in flight over Kerbin. That seems like it's basically no problem. And, we might as well haul this in flight above Kerbin because it has very similar concepts, and I guess we might as well test the hammer at the launch site. And that gives us 4 contracts. I thought we had 5, actually. Then we'll go to our vehicle assembly building, and we'll construct a rocket capable of accomplishing this. By the way, thank you to whoever let me know you can actually just look at your contracts down here. You've saved my life. So we need to hit roughly 40,000 meters in order to accomplish all this at once. We don't need to accomplish all this at once, but I'd like to. Because that constraints add enjoyment, I think. So, if we're just, bring the hydraulic decoupler up, okay, there's 2 science for the cost of 8 minutes, right? So we're gonna make a rocket, basically, and I've made every single rocket in essentially exactly the same way so far. And I'm completely okay with that because I know that it will work. So our final stage, this is gonna be a little too heavy for our purposes, but, it gives us more space on which to put the pieces that we need to break. So this is going to be the stage that gets to 40,000 meters, which means we need to have something on this that has an Airstream protective shell. So, I know we did this before. You can just make the, is that miscellaneous? I can't remember. I would expect it would be an aerodynamic, I suppose. Or payload? Yeah, payload, okay. I think you can just do it, you can put it down here and then just, have it go up like that. Yes, close fairing, please. Place cross-section, close fairing. I think it's pretty clear. I don't really understand what I'm doing here. Look at that. Wow, it's beautiful. So, I guess inside of here we could put other stuff. Hello, Tomo. Would you like to come in and have rocket practice with Daddy? That sounded not the way that I intended. So we need a decoupler here at the bottom. I'm going to go back to the upper stage of the rocket, which means we should really worry about staging. But we want Rockomax brand decoupler here, which also means we need an adapter. Dude, this is horrible. This looks like the freaking, Taipei 101 or whatever that building is called. Hello, Tomo. Alright, and then we need, like, a solid fuel booster on the bottom. No, but not Thumper, sorry. We need Hammer. Which is this one. Yeah, that's pretty good. Tomo, what's the problem, buddy? No more meows? I think he just pooped. Alright, so the longer this goes on for, the more I understand the idea that it probably would have been substantially smarter to just break this into more manageable pieces to complete the contracts, but this can be fun in and of itself, right? So let's go for some hex snapping, quadrilateral symmetry. We're just gonna put solid fuel boosters, because we need to test these anyway to accomplish our contract. I don't know if those nose cones are necessarily a necessity, but let's see. So we're gonna, where do we test the decoupler? 23,000 to 30,000 meters. So we actually, oh, dude, this is not good. What's the problem? You think Albert Einstein was dealing with all this meowing when he built the first Apollo rocket? I doubt it, man. Okay, I mean, alright. Here's how we're gonna do this. I'm gonna walk you through my steps, because I think when people watch these videos and they go, NL, are you know, an idiot? They just don't understand my steps. That's the problem. So here's the steps. Step 1, we launch this big old rocket. Wait, no, because this won't test these at the launch site then. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll do it like this then. Basically, these are going to complete the first test down here. The solid, use the hammer on the launch site test. Then, the next step is getting to 40,000 meters and having this on. Because as soon as we decouple... Like, where's our engine? This is our engine, right? Yeah, that's our engine. When we decouple this... we'll lose... What happened to my protective shell? We'll lose our protective shell in that case. Wonder if I could actually just put this like a little higher. Like, could I put this above the engine? Like so. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, just... There you go. They're gonna let us do this. You just gotta give it a sec. It's gorgeous, dude. Jebediah might have a little trouble flying this thing. But look at this wonderful rocket. Okay, so let's go over this again. These are gonna fire. We get these to decouple. Then these are gonna fire. Then this is up here. Just give it a sec. Then these are gonna bounce. And then that's gonna bounce, I guess. We don't have a hydraulic detachment manifold. You're gonna think that this is actually idiotic. You may well be right. Because the next... Yeah, you know, okay, I'm just gonna... Let's get two birds stoned at once here. Let's just try to complete this contract. This is a horrible idea. And, you know, before we actually launch here, let's do the requisite things that could allow us to conceivably have any chance of this thing making it happen, you know? Like a little bit of aerodynamic control might be nice. Alright. I think I've bitten off more than I can chew with this rocket, I'll just be honest with you. It's... I mean, in a way, it's kind of handsome. If I may say so myself. It's like our rocket is uncut. So the hammer is just gonna work. SAS on, please. Thank you. And we're gonna try to get to 41,000 meters before anything else happens. I don't know where Jebediah is, by the way. We're gonna try to get to 41,000 meters just so... Oh, everything else is just hauling. So actually, as long as we make it... We're definitely going to complete the Airstream one, assuming we get the altitude. I mean, 41,000 meters is relatively high up there. I'm more concerned about the Rockomax brand decoupler, which we're definitely not going to succeed with. Oh no, we totally succeeded with it. And we succeeded with the other one? Okay. Well then cut the freaking engines, dude, because we gotta go down here. We're not decoupling any of the remainder. Yeah, we didn't put like a final stage here. So but I can't believe that we actually completed 3 contracts here. It's kind of amazing to me. So here's what we're gonna do. We got tons of fuel. Too much, unfortunately. Yeah, too much. Anyway, we're gonna accelerate down towards the planet here. I guess we're also gonna blow up this adapter because our engine is just shooting right into it. And the idea here, this is me taking a shorthand, by the way. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. The idea here is I'm gonna use the remainder of our fuel to we're gonna get ourselves aligned on the retrograde pretty soon as well. I'm gonna use the remainder of our fuel. Oh, she can't align along the retrograde because she's only a level 1 pilot, but we can do it ourselves. When things start to get rough, you know, as we are passing through the atmosphere here with like a large surface area completely unconnected to any kind of, you know, heat shield or ways to mitigate the problem of falling through the atmosphere. No, this is the worst. She's tumbling like an arrow. I was really... My intention was to, Come on. Come on. Because she's gonna land on, like, a full fuel tank. On the tip of the freaking nose here. Pop the parachute. Pop the parachute. She's done. She's done and dusted. Good night, sweet princess. Okay. Well, you know what? That's what you sign up for, right? This is actually, though, surprisingly simple, because actually these are going to be completed. All we need to do is put a decoupler right here, and maybe a heat shield, but honestly, I don't think that's necessary. And then we do have to rebuild the aerodynamic cone, which I honestly, I mean, it shouldn't be that ridiculous. Like, even that seems fine to me. So save this, launch, and this should be the easiest rocket launch of all time. Get the contracts up. It should sincerely just be straight up and straight down. And then, did we complete all those contracts earlier? I thought we did. So we'll get a little bit of money out of this at the very least. I don't necessarily think, again, that this is the easiest way to get science. Once we get to the moon and can land safely, we're going to get a ton of science, though. And you know what? At least it doesn't look exactly the same as our earlier rockets, although admittedly very similar. I guess speed is another problem because of the fact that we have these, the speed is actually, like, fairly... It's got a wide range for us to succeed on, so, the engine should be below this decoupler, though. Yeah, good call, good call. And last time, we basically succeeded by just flying. And yeah, okay, we've now succeeded, so you can cut the engine. And I'm just gonna point us... We shouldn't do this. This is laziness talking. But I'm gonna point us at the retrograde and accelerate. This is just to minimize our apoapsis, essentially, and start to reverse our direction so we're going closer to... Or we're going back to Kerbin faster. We are still rising. You know, it takes a long time here. The added benefit here is that we get to deplete the entire fuel tank before we go back down to the planet. I don't know if that's a real concern in this video game, but probably better to not be dropping you know, a container of explosive rocket fuel from 70 kilometers above the surface of the planet, is my guess. So anyway, you could just stop rolling like that. That would be good. It's still, the apoapsis here is enormous, but I'm gonna eject. And then basically there's nothing we can do at this point. Just stay like as closely aligned to the retrograde as we can. And assuming she doesn't just tumble end over end, this is like a descent we've done many, many times in the past here. So this could be good. Or she could explode right here. We didn't put a heat shield on this thing. And the parachute pops. So I'm pretty sure that we're actually totally fine. I don't know if maybe we've never been to this section of the planet before. We've been to this section of the planet before. Oops. So, ooh, if you could just land, that would be swell. Thank you very much for your service. Yeah, take your time. It's not like, you know, it's been a 9-minute flight here. Usually we have like 70-day flights. Oh, you know, a little bit of science that we've never gotten before. That's worth almost as much as a mission, so we might as well take it. We got 1.5 science earned, plus whatever we get for the, Oh, she got an experience point. Plus whatever we get for having completed the contract. So we gotta test the hydraulic detachment manifold, which is actually a decent chunk. Test the swivel. Landed. These are just missions at this point that are... I mean, it doesn't make me feel good that I'm doing these. I feel like this is inefficient, but also good for my confidence. Like, it's so easy to test the swivel. No, don't even start me on. And so many of the, you know what? I think we should actually, like, I'm never going to do these flying missions. So, I think we should just cut those. That, I mean, this seems fine. Rendezvous 2 vessels in orbit of Kerbin. Maybe one day. Like, I don't care about money. Our money situation is fine. By the way, if you're gonna be like, hey, you lose prestige for doing this, so many people have told me to do this, okay? So don't even start with me, buddy. Test the heat shield in flight over Kerbin. I don't like these, but it is an okay amount of science. Test the stack separator on a sub-orbital trajectory over Minmus. I don't think that this is impossible. If we use our existing Damoon rocket, we might be able to make it happen. Haul this into... Okay, that's pretty good as well. So we got a spark. We're going to take a skipper. We're going to take a swivel. I'm not going to worry about testing this radial decoupler right now. Okay, so we're going to build a rocket that hopefully can fulfill all of these criteria as well. If I can get Austin to stop playing Enter the Gungeon down there on the bottom right of my screen so I can click on the contracts, that would be thank you. All right. So, sub-orbital trajectory over Kerbin. I think I want a 3-stage rocket, even though that's probably a little overkill. Obviously, the top stage is going to be built exactly the same way that all of my rockets are built. We're going to put a Mark 16 parachute on the top. I think I'm going to continue to haul a heat shield in, just because if I were an astronaut and they were like, we don't need the heat shield, I'd be like, it's my life, and it's now or never. Please give me the heat shield. I'm also gonna, you know, let's do it like this. I don't know if this is gonna work, but I'm kind of eager to get more science. I was about to say desperate, but I think that's a bad look. I'm eager to get more science. Let's see if we can recover this scientific module after we go into a suborbital trajectory. So the next step is we need to have a spark engine at the end. So we're gonna put some fuel tanks. And I'm pretty sure the spark engine is garbage, but how high do we need to be? 100,000 to 110,000 meters. This should be fine. That's a skipper. This is the spark. So this engine, again, kind of sucks, I think. But, all right. Then the next step is the decoupler. And then we have our... Really? Okay. This is where you would normally use, like, a stack separator or something, I think. But, or radial decouplers, I guess, from this point, but that's fine. Then we need our second stage here, which normally we do with, like, 3 fuel tanks. Well, normally they're 200 level fuel tanks, but... And then, like, one... mid-stage booster. This thing's freaking huge, dude. Tell you what, we'll put one swivel on this and see how this works. I am hoping this is not that heavy, but I could be wrong. And then our opening stage, we want to have two different kinds of boosters. We want a skipper, and we want the swivel. Yeah, that's right. Because we can use landed at the launch site, as I'm sure many people are breathing a sigh of relief that I finally internalized that information. So, we're going to take radial decouplers, put them down here. It looks a little off kilter, but I think that's okay. And then I'm gonna stack up a lot of fuel. Much to the chagrin of the people at home, perhaps. But, you know, the first stage is all about punching through the... I mean, this is probably too much. The first stage is all about punching through this heavy air without making colossal mistakes. So, I mean, here's the problem. I don't want 4 of these. I only want 2 of them. Yeah, I know you want to put 4, but I don't want you to put 4. I only want you to... See, the thing is, I want you to put 2 of these. Okay, so here's how we're going to do this. See, your boy, he's gotten a little smarter in his old age. I don't want you to put... Okay, I'll tell you what. Put 4 of them. But then I'm going to grab this. And I'm going to change it to bilateral symmetry. Yeah, there we go. Okay, good work, team. And then we're going to grab this whole thing. We're going to place it. Now, hopefully, we've got 2 instances of bilateral symmetry instead of one instance of quadrilateral symmetry. We're going to take off these 2 engines. Hello. Hello. All right, have fun. Love you. And we're going to put some swivels down here. Now, I mean, look at this thing. It's hideous. I love it. It's my favorite thing ever. How could this not work? This is probably a situation in which you want Rocco Max decouplers, or adapters rather. In fact, I'm gonna give that a shot. Those are, I mean, they're right here, aren't they? And then the real... Oh, man. I just wanted to be clear that I would never do this if I weren't arbitrarily trying to accomplish way too many objectives simultaneously here. And we'll put some... The fins, I mean, they did a great job last time. The most important thing now... well, okay. The most important thing now is making sure that the staging is not totally screwed up. Looks relatively symmetrical. And the staging is actually a real problem. So these obviously pop, these obviously pop, these obviously pop. Okay, so that's 4 engines right out the bat. Okay, then these, yeah, okay, then those pop, sure. And those pop. Yeah, you got it. But these should pop at the same time. And then this thing should probably just start firing immediately. Then this will pop, then this will pop, then this will pop. This seems good to me. So this is like Ugly Betty. You know, it's named after the TV show starring America Ferrera. The joke about Ugly Betty is that she's not actually ugly. She just wears glasses. Okay, so these things are kind of hanging here. Ugly Betty has no... Why? Why is she flying with just an engineer? Can we talk about this? Where's Jebediah? First off, okay, at least put Valentina on here. Is Jebediah still stuck on the moon? I don't think so. Maybe he's actually dead. Whatever, I don't get paid to know that stuff. Let's go. Contracts, let's remind ourselves. We're going to get 2 right off the bat here. As long as we don't explode. And then we just need to get to a suborbital trajectory and use the spark. I'm on tonight, you know my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to feel you, boy. Ascending rocket. We're going to run out of fuel in the sparks. Or, sorry, in the, whatever these were called. They were called skippers. We're going to run out of fuel in the skippers. I mean, it looks like about twice as quickly as we're going to run out of fuel in the swivels. I'm very interested to see what that's going to do to our acceleration here. Maybe it'll lower our acceleration, which honestly might be really good. It slowed the rate of our acceleration. So I think the way that you get to a suborbital trajectory is you get apoapsis of around basically 110,000 meters. Which is approaching. And then we're gonna cut the engines, and then we don't even, oh, we do need to, no, we don't even need to test, we just need to haul. So this is like, we've done it, essentially. And we got here on the first stage of our rocket, which is kind of incredible to me. This is like accidentally the best rocket we've ever built, despite being totally hideous. So, I mean, honestly, we should just be able to warp to apoapsis and, like, achieve our goal. Suborbital trajectory. Keep watching the altitude. 1 Mississippi. It's going to, like, 3 speed? Is that what it says up? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, so we've accomplished our objective there. And this, Where the Streets Have No Name by U2 is playing, so that's positive. I mean, do science? That's science. That's like decent science. Let's see if we can like land on planet Earth now, or planet Kerbal. So don't light the fuel tanks on fire. What have we done? Yeah, this is what we want, weirdly enough. I did stage it improperly, but not that badly in the whole scheme of things. So you're still just pointing upwards. Yeah, keep SAS on. I mean, I think you're probably going to be fine here as you come back in. The only question is whether or not the science module makes it. And if the science module makes it, I think we'll have enough to get landing, like better landing gear. I'm not suggesting that the landing gear was our only problem, by the way. Just that fixing it is probably, or getting another level is probably conducive to our success here. Sweet. Valentina, you're gonna live. We're gonna make it back with some science. And this is... Oh, that scared me a little bit. I guess because it's heavier, it fell a little faster to start with. But, dude, I'm stoked because we might have just had, like, one of the biggest scientific missions that we've ever done. Let's recover vessel and see what we get. And plus, we completed 3 contracts, or at least 2 contracts. We have 99 science. That's where we want to be. Contracts, still have 1. This actually ended up being a surprisingly focused and, you know, worthwhile episode. We can get a bigger heat shield, new landing struts, launch escape system. So it saves your astronaut if they're about to die. A better parachute. And landing gear that I'm hopeful you can use for the space plane. Either way, though, thanks for watching. I'm gonna get landing. If you enjoyed the episode, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time.